Have you ever pondered over the enigmatic gods of ancient Egypt and their chronology? Let's journey back to the dawn of divinity, to a time when the Egyptian civilization was still a fledgling amidst the vast expanse of the African continent. Nestled alongside the nurturing Nile, this civilization would soon burgeon into one of history's most fascinating chapters. In this fertile cradle of life, the ancient Egyptians developed a complex belief system centered around polytheism. This was a world teeming with gods and goddesses, each wielding power over a specific aspect of life, death, and the universe. From the gentle caress of the Nile's waters to the relentless heat of the desert sun, everything was divine, everything was sacred. The Egyptians' world was a grand theater of divinity, and the gods were the protagonists. They were not remote deities, but an integral part of daily life, woven into the very fabric of society. Their favor was sought, their wrath feared, and their tales, oh their tales, were epic sagas that echoed through the corridors of time. One of the earliest known gods was Atum, often hailed as the first god. He was believed to have emerged from the primordial waters of Nun, bringing order to the chaos. Atum was the divine catalyst, the spark that set the wheel of creation in motion. Alongside Atum, the Ogdoad of Hermopolis held significant sway in the earliest dynasties. This group of 8 deities, 4 gods and their consorts, represented the elemental forces of the cosmos. The ancient Egyptians believed that it was the Ogdoad who birthed the sun, bringing light to the world and establishing the cycle of day and night. These early gods and goddesses were the foundation stones of a divine edifice that would continue to evolve, shaping the course of the ancient Egyptian civilization. They were the dawn of a divine journey that would span thousands of years, etching indelible marks on the sands of time. Thus began the divine journey, a mystical era of gods and goddesses ruling the roost. As centuries rolled by, the sun began to rise both literally and metaphorically. This marked a new era, an age where deities of the sun, like Ra and Horus, began to cast their divine radiance over the land of the Nile. The sun, a celestial body of immense power and beauty, was not merely a source of light and heat for the ancient Egyptians. Instead, it held a profound significance in their culture and religious beliefs. Imagine a time when life revolved around the movement of the sun. Every dawn brought a renewal of life, with the rising sun seen as a daily rebirth. This was a world where the sun was not just an astronomical body, but a god. Ra, the sun god, the king of all gods, the creator of the universe. Ra wasn't alone in his celestial dominion, however. Horus, another mighty sun deity, was often depicted as a falcon, his right eye representing the sun, a symbol of power and protection. The ancient Egyptians revered Horus as the god of the sky, war, and hunting, further emphasizing their deep-rooted belief in the power of the sun. Now, picture the sun's journey across the sky, a voyage embodied by Ra himself. Every day, Ra was believed to sail across the heavens in a boat, fighting off the serpent of chaos, Apophis, to bring about dawn. With every sunset, Ra would descend into the underworld, only to be reborn the next morning. This daily cycle was more than just a tale. It was a testament to the triumph of order over chaos, light over darkness, good over evil. The myths associated with Ra and Horus are not just stories. They are reflections of ancient Egyptian society's core values: the importance of harmony, the constant struggle against disorder, and the reverence for the forces of nature. And so, the sun became a beacon of life and power, revered by all. It was not just a celestial body, but a divine entity, a god whose light guided the ancient Egyptians through the passage of days and the turn of seasons, shaping their civilization in profound ways. The divine tapestry of ancient Egypt continued to evolve with the rise of the Ennead and the Triad. The Ennead of Heliopolis, a pantheon of 9 deities, was a significant part of this evolution. At its head was the sun god Atum, followed by his children, Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. These two bore Geb, the earth god, and Nut, the sky goddess, who themselves gave birth to the famous quartet, Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys. This divine lineage was not just a list of names, it was a representation of the creation story, the birth of the elements, and the intricate balance between order and chaos. Contrasting the cosmic scale of the Ennead the Triad of Memphis offered a more localized view of divinity. This triad was made up of Ptah, the creator god, Sekhmet, the lioness goddess of war, and their son, Nefertum, the lotus god. Ptah was considered the patron of craftsmen, while Sekhmet was invoked for protection, and Nefertum symbolized the beauty of creation. Together, they embodied a divine family that was both accessible and relatable to the people of Memphis. The concept of divine families was crucial in ancient Egyptian religion. It allowed the ancient Egyptians to understand the world around them and their place within it. They saw in these divine families a mirror of their own society, with its hierarchies, its conflicts, and its bonds of love and loyalty. The gods were not remote entities but part of the everyday life of the Egyptians. They were present at every birth, every harvest, and every death. Their stories, their rivalries, and their alliances provided a framework for understanding the unpredictable forces of nature and the inevitable cycles of life and death. In the heart of every city, a divine family reigned, encapsulating the essence of life, death, and the cosmos. They were more than just gods. They were the heartbeat of ancient Egypt, pulsating through the veins of every city, every temple, and every home. As the sands of time flowed, two gods rose to the pinnacle, Amun and Osiris. Amun, often referred to as the king of gods, is a deity whose significance is as vast as the desert itself. Initially a local god of Thebes, his influence stretched across Egypt when Thebes became the capital. His name, meaning the hidden one, is symbolic of his enigmatic and omnipresent nature. Amun was the champion of the poor and the troubled, often invoked for personal prayers. His powerful persona was merged with that of Ra, the sun god, creating an unparalleled divine entity known as Amun-Ra, embodying the universal power of creation. Then we have Osiris, the god of the underworld, the divine judge of the deceased. He was a symbol of resurrection and eternal life. Stories tell of his murder by his brother Seth and his subsequent resurrection by his wife Isis. This narrative, a tale of betrayal and rebirth, was a cornerstone of ancient Egyptian mythology. Osiris's resurrection offered Egyptians a comforting assurance of life after death, deeply influencing their funerary practices. The cults of Amun and Osiris were profoundly influential, both having elaborate temples dedicated to their worship. The Temple of Karnak, dedicated to Amun, and the Temple of Abydos, dedicated to Osiris, were centers of religious activities, drawing devotees from far and wide. The reign of these two gods was not merely a period of religious significance but also one of socio-political change. Their influence transcended the spiritual realm, impacting the ruling class and the common folk alike. Pharaohs aligned themselves with Amun, seeking divine legitimacy for their rule, while Osiris offered the promise of an afterlife to all, not just the royals, democratizing the afterlife. The rise of Amun and Osiris marked a defining moment in the divine narrative of ancient Egypt. Their stories, their influence, and their legacy continue to echo through the millennia, a testament to their standing in one of the world's earliest and most enduring civilizations. The pantheon of ancient Egyptian gods has left an indelible mark on human history. This divine assemblage, resplendent with complexity and depth, has woven itself into the very fabric of our cultural, artistic, and religious tapestry. The influence of these gods touched every aspect of life in ancient Egypt. Their mythology, imbued with tales of power, love, betrayal, and redemption, was a moral compass guiding societal norms and values. From the pharaoh's throne to the humblest of homes, the divine presence was felt and revered. Art and architecture bear the most visible testament to their influence. The temples, pyramids, and obelisks, grand in their design and execution, stand as enduring symbols of devotion to the gods. These magnificent structures, etched with hieroglyphs, reveal stories of divine intervention, celestial battles, and divine love. The gods' influence permeated the creative arts as well. The vibrant frescoes, intricate jewelry, and detailed sculptures of the era reflect the rich mythology and spiritual beliefs of the time. Each piece tells a tale, a divine narrative that resonates with the human condition. Yet the influence of the ancient Egyptian gods extends beyond the borders of the Nile. Their mythology has been a source of fascination, inspiration, and scholarly pursuit for centuries. From Greek and Roman adaptations to modern interpretations in film, literature, and popular culture, these deities continue to captivate us with their mystique. Moreover, their legacy lends itself to our understanding of religion and spirituality. Concepts such as afterlife, divine justice, and the interplay of good and evil find their roots in ancient Egyptian beliefs. These fundamental ideas continue to shape our spiritual perceptions and philosophical discourse. Even today, the echoes of ancient Egyptian divinity reverberate in our collective consciousness, a testament to their timeless allure. Their legacy, etched in stone and woven into our culture, serves as a reminder of the profound impact of the divine on human civilization.